Today I want to start with a story. I'll never forget this mom that I worked with not that long ago, and me in tears, and she said, "Michelle, I wake up every single morning already exhausted. Before the kids are even out of bed, I'm bracing for what's coming next." And at school, the child is melting down in class, and she has other kids that are refusing to do homework. She comes home and she feels like things have already fallen apart, from the time they got home from school to the time that she gets there. And on top of that, there's extended family that's saying things like, you need to do this, or you need to be stricter, or it's because you're not doing something. So she just felt like she was carrying the whole house on her shoulders. And everyone else was, I don't know if that sounds familiar to you, but if you're nodding your head right now, you are not alone. Parenting kids with extra challenges is a whole different game. And it makes sense that you're feeling really burned out. It's triple the stress and the work. So here's the thing, is burnout does not mean that you're failing. And because you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed and, when you're just trying to tell somebody how hard it is, you're breaking down into tears, doesn't necessarily mean that you're burned out and we're going to throw everything out the window. It just means that you're carrying too much for too long without. So one of the things this mom said to me one time was that I could feel like nothing I do is working. Yeah, I try rewards, I try consequences, I try staying calm, and the behavior doesn't change. And also there was the battle of the other parent not doing, being frustrated too. And so she just felt like all of it was dumped on her all the time. And I reminded her that what she was facing in her kids was attachment struggles. It was ADHD. It was a nervous system that's not responding the way that typical parenting books describe. It was past trauma for this kid. It was adoption related. It was all the things, right? The neurodivergence on steroids. So on top of that, she wasn't just parenting her kids. She was managing the schools. She was, working with different therapists and family opinions and even her partner's opinions. And she was just exhausted. And no wonder, right? Sometimes it's okay to just say, of course you are. No kidding. So I just told her, you're not failing. You are fighting battles that most parents, they never even see. And I could tell that her shoulders just kind of dropped a little bit because she realized that this exhaustion didn't mean that she was weak. It meant that she was running on empty. And that's what I want you to hear today. That this is not weakness. The way that you're feeling, this overwhelm, this, I barely hanging on here, is a signal. It's your body and your brain telling you that you really can't keep going like this. And I don't want you to have to keep going like this. And I want to help you to find a way. It's like you're in a tug of war with either your own mental and emotional struggles, or you may feel like you're in a tug of war with your child. And I want to help you to know that you can let go of that. That there's some things that this mom did that really, really helped. So these three things are three things that you can do as well to start finding your strength again. The first one is just taking micro minutes of rest count. She started taking 3 minutes in her car before she would come into the house. No podcast, no music, just breathing. And later she told me, it sounds really silly, but I can handle the chaos so much better now. The other thing that we started doing is that she kind of took those micro minutes of rest in connecting when she first got home, rather than trying to solve all the stuff that was coming at her. She was like, I need a few minutes. I'm going to put my stuff down. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and then we're going to go forward. And that started to really change that dread and that anxiety that she was feeling as soon as she would start to head home from work or head to go pick up the kids or whatever it was. So the second thing is that you don't have to fix everything. She decided to just pick one battle, and we started off with just bedtime routines. Or it can be like, let's create this homework time the way that we want it to look like. And if you are doing the program, the Healthy Foundations Family Program, we start off with a schedule. We're just going to master this. Sometimes with the kids, we start off with one thing of just having them give a good response. So we're not trying to fight everything at once. And your brain's going to want to keep firing you like, but what about this? Or they don't have good manners, or whatever it is, right? But you have to realize that what she realized, I guess, was that her relationship with her son mattered more than this worksheet or what was happening at school or any of these things. So she just would take that moment to connect and then realize, like, I'm not going to fix everything, even when he was the one saying that all these things were frustrating him or whatever. You don't have to win every single battle to be a good parent. You don't. Do you know that? Like, just think about that for a minute. You don't have to win every battle to be a good parent. Sometimes you need to choose peace in one area, and then you can rebuild strength for another area. We're just going to we're working on this right now. We're going to focus on this right now. Finally, she actually joined the playroom as well, and she said that the biggest relief wasn't even in the strategies. And I think that they're brilliant. But it was in hearing the other parents say, me too. And she realized that she wasn't the only one going through this. She wasn't crazy. She wasn't alone. And that gave her the strength to keep going. And we need that. So sometimes we can borrow the calm from other people, or we just can borrow, like, just know, like, that we're in this together. There's other people that have done this road. And I think that's one of the things, is when you're so stressed and things are so challenging, you really do feel like nobody else is having this problem. This is, I've had so many families, ask me if this is the worst family I've ever worked with. And it's, the worst families I've ever worked with are people that don't want help, that are saying that they're trying these things, or they're not doing it at all. Like, not people that are like you, that are wanting to know what to do and help. It's never been the case, but it feels like the worst because what you're going through is so hard, and it is the worst for you. Whatever you're going through is the worst, for you. So, it's just perspective, and it's just knowing that other people are in this and that there's answers, and knowing that you have somebody that will come alongside you and have some things to help you with. So here's the truth. That mom, I still stay in touch with her. She's still around. She's still tired some days. And so am I. And so are you. That's the truth. But she doesn't feel like she's drowning. She's finding her way, one small shift at a time. And so can you. And so if you're sitting here today and you're worn out and you're wondering how much longer you can do this, let me say this really clearly to you. You are not weak. You are not failing. You're carrying a weight that most people can't see. And they don't understand it. They don't understand it even if they're carrying their own weight of things. They don't necessarily know that anybody else is also carrying that weight. And the fact is that you are still here and you're still showing up. And this is proof that you are exactly what your child needs. And I'm so glad that you listened today. And I hope that you can find that place to excel, to get real tools and real support, and know that you can leave your comment below from this video, that you can reach out for help and support. If you go to parentingchallengingkids.com, you can actually fill out a form to talk with me directly. And I know that we don't know each other, so that might be too much for you, but look around on there, and it might benefit you to consider joining the playroom and just listening for a while. So you don't have to hold it all together, and you don't have to do this alone. And that's what I want you to know today. Thanks so much for your time, and please leave your comments